Paulette is that friend or neighbor or mentor or sort of, you know, the person in the neighborhood you always wish you knew. She owns the salon, I believe she owns the salon, that Elle runs to in her despair after she sees Warner with Vivian and is told that Warner is with Vivian after she's trekked all the way out to Harvard to go and, you know, win back her lost love. And she's decided that the best way to do that is to become more like Vivian and, you know, lose herself in the process. And the first place she goes is, you know, as us girls will do, we'll change our hair, we'll get a manicure, we'll, you know, do something like that. So she immediately looks for the source of comfort and familiarity to her. And so she goes to a salon and finds Paulette.
Well, they're both, I think, a little bit of misfits in this world at Harvard, of all the privilege, of all, I mean, Elle has the money perhaps, but she doesn't fit into the world of Harvard, and Paulette services probably a lot of people who are rich and don't give her the time of day. So they both really have a really sisterly connection.
She really expresses to Elle that you're fine. Maybe there's something wrong with him, but don't change yourself. You're wonderful. Just, you know, think this through, go out and do this, you know, maybe try another angle, go to this party, you know, and win him back. But you don't have to change yourself in order to do that.
I thought it brought the heart to the musical that, you know, she's the first real person that Elle meets at Harvard that she bonds with. She meets Emmett, but they haven't really connected yet. They connect later in the play. But she meets Paulette, and immediately they share this love of dogs. They share a breakup, and in her song you realize that she has dreams and wishes too.
I know a few people that I've very much modeled Broadway Paulette on. These people exist. I know these people. You know, I do. This isn't just created out of a vacuum. I mean, some of it was, but there are, hopefully, again, in everyone's life there is a Paulette to turn to.
A lot of people came into our auditions, the best actresses in America, the best singers and performers, absolutely wonderful. They all came in, and most of them were sort of doing a version of Paulette from the movie, that sort of soft, helpless thing, and it didn't quite work.
When you've got to fill shoes that big, you kind of have to go in a completely different direction. There's no way to do any of that because you're immediately going to be doing a pale imitation. There's no way not to do a pale imitation because no one could have done that better. So I had to really mine a completely different character, a completely different take on it.
It's a fine balance between finding someone who has had the comedic chops for the role and also someone who could really deliver and sing and you know, have Broadway gravitas. So, you know, Orfeh obviously hit on every cylinder.
And we looked at a lot of people. And Orfeh came in and she said, "Celtic moods!" And we all said, "That's our girl."
And the best part of being in Legally Blonde, I would have to say, is the fact that I get to work with my actual husband. He makes every moment of this worthwhile.
You feel the audience night after night responding to that chemistry between the two married people. Who knew?
Every night we look at each other. It's all we can do to keep a straight face, but at the same time, it's really like looking at this person for the first time, which certainly is a lovely way to keep a marriage fresh. You know, we're going into 6.5 years of marriage, and it's as fresh as the first day, you know? So it's been amazing.